Chris, back in the day when we rode the old bullets, suspension meant your kidneys were the shock absorbers. Two fat coil springs at the back, skinny front forks, and if you hit a pothole at speed, well, you'd see God, then the mechanic.
Yeah, Matt. And now you lot are getting upside down forks and fancy monoshocks on a Royal Enfield. Never thought I'd see that day.
Exactly, and not just for style points. The Bear 650 is coming in with USD forks up front and a rare monoshock. That's like going from a wooden park bench to a premium recliner. Except the recliner can go 160 km/h.
So today's question is simple. How plush is the ride? Is it just better than before? Or is it actually good enough to take on proper ADV tours?
That's what we are breaking down. Highway, broken tarmac, gravel trails, and whether this suspension setup changes the way a Royal Enfield twin actually feels under you.
Because let's face it, 650cc torque is great, but if your spine's in two pieces after a ride, what's the point?
Exactly. So grab your chai or your pint if you're Chris and let's get into the real world feel of the Bear 650 suspension.
The upside down folks. First time Aadi is putting proper USDs on an ADV twin, likely 43mm or chunkier.
And upside down doesn't just mean the forks are posing for Instagram, yeah? It's about unsprung mass. Less of it means the front wheel reacts quicker to the road or the trail without transferring all the shock to your arms.
Exactly. On the Bear, that translates to two things you'll feel instantly. Better feedback and less dive when you grab the brakes hard. On a heavy bike like this, that's gold. Especially when you're coming down a slope loaded with panniers and a pillion. With regular telescopics, you'd get that, oh, bugger nosedive. With the Bear, it's more controlled. And the beauty is how it soaks up stuff like highway expansion joints or broken tarmac. Instead of that bang through your wrists, it's more like a third move on. So plush, but not vague. You still feel the surface, but it's like the edges have been sanded down. Perfect way to put it. And when you tip into a corner or even weave through city gaps, the front feels planted. It's not bouncing or skipping around.
To the back,
That's
the
the
Monoshock.
USD magic.
Aadi's kept it clean, modern and tuned for real world riding, not just spec sheet wars. And that's the difference made. With twin shocks, you sometimes get that weird split personality. Soft at the start, rock hard at the end of travel. Exactly. The Monoshock here feels linear. You hit a bump and it compresses predictably. No surprise kickbacks. Plus, if you've got luggage or a pillion, it doesn't just sink and stay sunk. The preload feels dialed so it holds its shape. On a weekend trip, that's huge. You're not fighting a sagging tail and the geometry stays sharp. Off-road, that composure's gold. You stand on the pegs, the rear stays connected to the ground instead of bouncing you sideways. Yeah, on gravel or sand, grip is everything and the Bear's rear just hooks up. Even when you're coming off smooth tarmac into a patch of loose dirt, it feels like the tire's still talking to you.
So in short, comfy on highways, sure-foot on trails, and doesn't get flustered with extra weight.
Exactly. It's not premium adjustable rally kit, but for what it's built for, the Bear 650 suspension isn't the kind of over-engineered multi-clicker setup you'll see on a 10 lakh ADV. But for India's mix of busted tarmac, surprise potholes and random trail detours, it's bloody well calibrated.
Yeah, you're not getting your spine turned into a kebab on speed breakers. It soaks them up, moves on, no drama.
Cracked highways? You feel them, but more as a muted thunk than a jolt. It's controlled, not dead.
And soft off-roading, the kind most people actually do, it holds the line nicely. Doesn't skip around like a startled goat.
Which means you can do a 400-kilometer day and still feel human when you park it. That's the kind of comfort that makes you want to ride more the next day.
And that's where Aadi's nailed it. They've made a twin that's comfy for long rides, but still tight enough to take the rough bits without feeling like a boat.
Exactly. Plush where you need it, the Bear 650 might look like it's ready to wrestle a mountain, but on the road, it's more like a big calm shepherd dog. It's got the strength to haul, climb and cruise, but it won't yank your arms out or shake your fillings loose.
Mate, it's that bloke you see at the gym who's built like a tank but still holds a door open for everyone. You think, if this guy wanted to, he could crush me, but he's too busy being polite.
Exactly. And that's what Aadi's nailed here. Muscle with manners. A lot of bikes will give you either one or the other. Some are comfy but boring. Others are wild but wear you out. The Bear somehow sits right in the sweet spot.
And I'll tell you what, when you've been in the saddle for hours, you start valuing suspension a lot more than horsepower numbers. That USD fork up front, bloody brilliant on patchy tarmac, and the rare Monoshock makes you forget half the potholes even exist.
Yeah, it's that kind of setup that stops a long ride from turning into a chiropractor appointment. And honestly, that's what keeps you riding more. If the bike beats you up, you'll start finding excuses to skip rides. But with the Bear, you will start finding excuses to go further.
And the next time someone says, "Oi, but it's heavy, man," just hand them the keys and tell them to find the nearest set of bad roads. By the time they're back, they'll be grinning and quietly wondering how something this big can feel so sorted.
That's the word, sorted. Not trying too hard, not showing off, just doing the job like it was born to do it.
And that's the thing with bikes like this. It's not just about specs or tech, it's about the confidence it gives you everywhere.
Right? And with that, it's time for us to wrap this one up. From Man Machine Garage, here's the reminder I always leave you with. It's not just about how far you ride, it's about how good the ride feels when you get there. Keep your tires true, your chain clean, and your head clear.
And don't forget, the road will always teach you more than the brochure ever will.
Couldn't have said it better. Till next time, keep the rubber side down, and I'll see you out there.